In this video, we are going to do something different. We are going to react to one gentleman who is saying or discussing the 2 financial mistakes he has made. And by end of this video, I think you could be in a position to learn 2 things. Number 1, you should not participate in gambling. I have observed more than 2 individuals saying that their life was destroyed just because they engaged themselves in gambling. Another thing which you are going to learn, because on this channel I normally discuss about, or I normally talk about investment, more especially in stocks and bonds, you are going to learn that picking individual stocks is not a winning strategy. You cannot win in picking individual stocks. That is the same case with picking mutual fund managers. At the same time, it's so difficult to win by choosing that route. So those are the 2 things which we are going to learn from this video. Let's observe what this gentleman is going to talk about, the 2 financial mistakes which he made, and then I am going to jump in and there and give out my thoughts, my observations, and the things which I have observed in the financial institution.
Here are the 2 worst financial mistakes I ever made. And this is coming from a normal person. I'm not super financially successful, but I'm also not a disconnected rich person who's going to tell you, well, after I sold my 6th property, then I didn't quite get the return on the 7th property. No, it's nothing like that. For people that are closer to my situation, you're starting to have some money that you're looking to save up or invest or whatever, these are 2 of the worst mistakes I ever made. Number 1, sports gambling. Don't do it. The only way I can tell you it's okay to sports gamble is if you have a healthy relationship with gambling, and that is that you can put the occasional small amount of money on a game to, just kind of have a good time with your friends or something like that. Gambling is an addiction just like any drug, just like anything else. But instead of hurting your body or your brain, it's going to kill your bank account. It is a sickness.
He has said that gambling is just an addiction like any other. Like you are smoking cigarettes, maybe you are drinking. That's exactly what gambling is. It is easier for individuals to start gambling, but getting out of that situation is one of the difficult, challenging moments. Families have been destroyed. Individuals have even gone to an extent they have taken their own lives just because of gambling. He has encouraged individuals, if you are in a position to control your urge towards betting, that you can go ahead and do it. But I discourage you from even attempting that. I was lucky enough, I tried gambling and I lost 250 shillings and I decided to quit forever. But there are individuals who that decision never happened to them. They had an opportunity to gamble and they won some games and they never got out of that situations. Some of those individuals, their families have been destroyed. I observed another gentleman who was on YouTube. He was being interviewed in one of the channels in Kenya, and he said that he almost considered taking his own life just because he observed himself as a loser, because actually he was a loser. His family, even his kid, was decided even to fight him just because he observed what his father was doing and he was discouraged. He was disappointed in his father's decisions. That's why I don't encourage you even to attempt the idea of going ahead and starting gambling. You may think that you are one of those individuals who is in a position to control yourself, but if you observe, more especially nowadays, individuals have access to the internet where they can go ahead and bet on the games which they have absolutely no idea. Even if you have an idea, for instance, EPL is known to every person, but predicting who is going to win is something which is so difficult. I observed even the United States of America, gambling is even taking over other economic activities in terms of where individuals are participating. Gambling, it is a disaster. It's something which should be prevented, and if you are in a position to avoid it, just don't even attempt going there. And if you are in that situation, just find a way. I can't say you can decide today and decide to quit. No, there are some individuals who this habit has been built in them, and for them to decide to quit, it may take a long period of time. So if you are in that position, I encourage you to find a way in which you are going to avoid that bad habit.
It will get into your brain and it will destroy your financial life way faster than you realize. Like my story with gambling was when I first started gambling on sports, I went up $7,000 within the first 4 months, right? The needle was in me, okay? I was like, oh, I could probably never work again. I could just do this full time, blah, blah, blah. Going insane, okay? Probably within a month or two of gaining that $7,000, I had lost all of it, and then also down an additional $1,000. And then ever since that point, all I did was lose. I would win a little bit, and then I would lose twice that amount. Until eventually I lost $12,000. So it's like alcohol. If you can maintain a very healthy, moderate relationship with it, then that's fine. But as soon as you understand that it's becoming a problem, as soon as you understand that it's becoming an addiction, you cannot do it. I'm telling you right now, it's designed to infect your brain. You will not win. This business wouldn't exist if...
That's exactly. There's a way which I can say the algorithm is designed, in that you can win some games. They don't want to allow you to lose continuously. They want to entice you, for you to believe in yourself that you can get your money back, but you end up losing more and more. It's a dopamine kind of behavior where you get excited, you lose, you win. That's the behavior of how gambling is designed. And if these individuals would end up losing money, they would not be in that business. But at the end of the day, as he has said, it is the house which always wins. Don't lie to yourself that you would be in a position to beat the individuals who have invested their resources, their systems, that you can beat them in their own game. That's a lie. You are going to lose a lot of money and you are going to live a miserable life.
You were going to win. People don't win. The companies win. The second thing is another form of gambling, the stock market. And I'm not telling people not to invest in the stock market. You should absolutely, if you're able to, put money into the stock market. But don't fool yourself into thinking that you're going to become a day trader. That is a mistake that I made, like a lot of people in 2020. I thought, oh, I'm going to become a day trader. I know a lot about stocks. Blah, blah, blah. No, I know nothing. There are people that dedicate their entire lives to studying financials, studying stocks, that are still wrong all the time. If you're one of those people that is your job is to study.
He has now moved to another second point, that is picking individual stocks. I was reading a random walk down Wall Street, and this individual has outlined clearly that the mutual fund who you trust that is going to enable you to beat a market, he is equivalent in terms of a monkey can throw darts in the stock market, and the stocks which they are going to be selected through those darts which has been drawn by a monkey, which has even the eyes have been closed, they are going to do exactly the same as what your mutual fund manager is doing. You as an individual, picking individual stocks, it's not something which you will win. You may win for some time, 1, 2 or 3 years, but over a long period of time, you are not going to produce results consistently. And what does this individual, random walking down Wall Street, encourage? You should pick good index funds or exchange traded funds, and this will assist you to obtain the results of the whole market. And over a long period of time, these results, the market results, beat the individual investors, beat the mutual funds who you trust that are going to produce great results for you. So just use an ETF or an index fund which is at a low cost, which doesn't have an over extra charges, which will enable you to produce good results, and over a long period of time it's going to be magnificent.
Financial reports and understand companies, then that is when like actual day trading makes sense. The mistake that I made is that all of my money the entire time should have been going into long-term index funds. What I did was I took a bunch of money, I put it into certain stocks. Some of them did all right, so I was like, oh, I know what I'm doing, blah, blah, blah. And then I put a bunch of money into other stocks, and a bunch of them tanked, okay? The only stocks that have performed well consistently over time are long-term index funds. So if you're just gonna dump your money in and forget about it, which is what you should do unless you are trying to day trade, which again, you shouldn't, unless you're trying to make that your long-term career, which you shouldn't, okay? Dump money into ETFs, forget about it, let it rise over time. It's going to crash, it will crash. That's an inevitability. People are doomsday every year, oh, the stock market crash is coming. Yeah, it's gonna happen, okay? Keep investing, keep putting money in, whether the stock market is high, whether the stock market is low, pick index funds, dump it in, leave it, let it grow over time. The ones I recommend are the S&P, VTI, VOO. Those are the ones that I'm most heavily invested in. So if you're like, young, wherever you're at in life, if you're starting to get to the point where you have some savings, you're starting to think about investing money, don't do those things. There are two things.
I think those are the things which you as an individual, you are supposed to take into serious consideration. First, don't try to beat the market. Don't go ahead and pick individual stocks. Even those day traders which he has mentioned who have dedicated their life into trading, 95% of those individuals end up losing miserably in the stock market. So the only efficient way which you are going to win in the stock market over a long period of time, because the stock market is one of the best institutions where you can grow your wealth. So you must invest in the stock market. That's an non-negotiable. But the only way which you are going to be successful in the stock market is just select low-cost index fund or ETFs, invest whether the market is high or it's low. Don't try to time the market. Individuals have tried that, but they have not been successful. You are not special. You will also fail miserably. But to avoid that terrible mistake is just follow simple rules. Don't try to gamble. Don't try to day trade in the stock market. My name is Monsieur Augustine. If you have found some value in this video, just subscribe, like and share. It's through that way which we are going to build a community around we educating ourselves on how we can be financially successful.